wins and losses don't matter. Performances do. Musgrove was pretty good. So was Michael Felice.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you're looking for in spring training
Right.
are the guys the varsity players, so to speak. How do they perform, right?
Exactly.
You know, and they've gotten some good performances from some guys. I thought yesterday they had a couple of good pitching performances from some of the guys that you would hope that will be a part of it. So to me, spring training, the results really don't mean anything, the games. It's, like you said, each individual, what are guys doing, you know, in these games.
Right.
And
But not much is the answer right now. I mean, they haven't done much in terms of the first 5 games.
Here's the thing that's frustrating, Bob, is if you look at it, we know who the 8 starters are going to be. Mm-hmm. And we have a good idea who probably 4 of the 6 bench guys are going to be, you know, or whatever it's going to be.
And you know your starting rotation.
You know what I'm saying?
There's not much.
You pretty much know your rotation. And I think as a Pirates fan, you know, that's got to be frustrating. Because if I roll out you know, you and I could sit here right now. It's a 26-man roster now, by the way.
Right.
We could probably give you 24 of the 26. Would you agree with me? 24 of the 26 we could probably give you right now.
Absolutely.
And if I gave you the 24, you'd be like, how do I get excited about that? Do you know,
I mean, that's why all the publications have them finishing last.
Right.
And I know it is they don't want to call it this, but it is this. It's a rebuild. When you trade Marte and you get 2 19-year-olds, you are rebuilding. That's pretty much how a rebuild starts. And I guess the criticism will be, if you're going to do it, then do it. Don't go halfway, because I think in the past they've got caught halfway. When you go halfway, you're going no way, actually. You're going sideways.
And I'll give you an example, okay? Colin Moran is going to start at third base. Is he your third baseman of the future, or is Brian Hayes?
Brian Hayes should be.
So
based
to
on
me, why are we doing this? You know, it's like these half measures are what are probably more frustrating than trading Marte. You know?
I agree, because it's sending mixed messages.
Exactly.
And you're not solving any of your issues. If you need to build up the minor league system, which they do, then just do it. And I don't think anyone would be opposed to it. They'd understand it more than this approach that they're taking right now. Let's go to the lines. We got Herb in Renfrew, who joins us right now on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Hey, Herb, how are you?
Hi, Bob and Paul. Thanks for taking my call.
Yep, no problem.
Do you guys think if the Steelers really like a player in the NFL Combine, they will trade future draft picks to get that player because Ben's window is shrinking with age and injury?
When you say trade future draft, you're talking about trade like next year's #1 pick?
He's talking about the trade up, yes.
Yeah, trade up. Like if they really like a player.
Well, first of all, to get back into the first round, if you want to go to where it's going to make a difference, you're going to go all the way to top 10. To me, I don't think that's doable. I don't think anyone's going to be willing to make that kind of deal.
Well, unless you make a ridiculous deal.
They're not
like,
going to
well,
do
we're
that.
going to give you our first and second next year and our first.
But they're not going to
right,
do that.
You understand, yeah. To go from 49 to, say, 10, you know, I don't even know what the price tag would be.
It would be too much, and they wouldn't do it. Tom is on the line now talking football. What's up, Tom?
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
Good, thanks.
Hey, listen, with the Bud Dupree situation, Kevin Colbert came on, you know, on the internet and said about this was a good draft for outside linebackers and offensive tackles. What would be your opinion on that? Are they going to let him go, or do you think they're going to try to sign him?
No, I think they're going to sign him. They again, tune in tonight at 11 o'clock. You'll hear something about Bud Dupree that Rich Welch got from Kevin Colbert today. And when you hear it, you'll realize their intention is to bring him back here. And quite frankly, Paul, I don't know what plan B would be. You can say there's a deep draft out there, but they don't have a first, they don't have a third. Second, I don't think they're going to go in that direction in second unless they don't bring him back, but they're going to bring him back.
Right, and I think, you know, Kevin Colbert, if you listen to what he said to the media at large, most of what he talked about was the fact that they need to sort of rebuild their offense a little bit. They need, you know what I mean? I expect them to go offensive lineman, tight end, maybe running back, I guess. I don't know. But to me, I think it's going to be offensive lineman or tight end with that first pick.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to go. They need help in that department, both of those departments. I think the running back situation, people keep saying, got to get a running back. Well, they're going to bank on James Conner coming back, being healthy, with Benny Snell as his backup. You may draft somebody later who could come in, but I don't think they have any plans of disrupting that, do you?
No, because I think the big thing about it is they're gambling that Ben is going to be okay. And I think they have to gamble that McDonald and Connor are going to be okay. Now, they could cut McDonald, but where does that leave you at your tight end spot? So, I mean, they have to take a few gambles and say, okay, Connor has really not stayed healthy, hopefully this is the year he does it.
Yeah, they need that. All those things have to come up positively for them if they're going to take a step forward. And I think James Conner ran into him. He's pretty optimistic that he's going to be. But you can say that. You have to prove it. And they've had guys with too much injury. People mention the tight end out west who they're interested in, or a lot of teams are, Henry, who has the same resume as McDonald when it comes to injuries. He's injured a lot. He cost a lot. You know, I don't know if I'd go in that direction.
I think if you cut him, you say, what, $6 million?
$6
and a half, something like that, 5.5, $6 million. So, you know, there are some guys like that you could cut to save some money, right? But again, you've got to replace them. You know, I mean, is it pretty clear that I would assume that Ramon Foster probably is going to get cut, right?
Yes, they're going to save money there.
They'll save some money with him. Vance McDonald is a guy they look at. And you could, what's the guy that got in trouble down at the casino in Bell Vernon or wherever it is? Chicolo.
Oh, Chicolo.
Chicolo. They'll cut him, right? I mean, they're going to save $6 million.
That'll save money, yep.
You know what I mean? There's some guys they can cut where they can save a lot of money. But the question is, are they going to do it? Or, you know, that's the issue.
Yep. Let's go to Dave, who joins us on the south side on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Jens. I was thinking, if you think the Steelers might draft Thaddeus Moss in the second round, you think there's any chance we can convince his dad to come back for one more year?
No and no. I don't. Do you think they're going to do that? I don't know that he's going to be around there.
That's the question.
They may have to make a move if they want him.
Yeah, that's the question. I would think if he's there at 49, they would almost have to take him, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think that that's the case.
But I don't know that he's going to be there at 49. I just don't know that he's going to be, you know, right now he's projected as like a second, third rounder, right? But he's going to, I'm sure when they watch him, he's not working out at the combine, but he'll have a pro day.
By the way, I think that's going to become a trend.
Right.
More teams are going to go to pro days than spend less time at the combine. Don't you think?
Yeah, well, the combine is good for looking at all the guys that are underneath the top 10, 15 picks. But all these top 10, 12, 15 guys, they're all just going to say, well, I'm going to work out in the cozy confines of my own place, you know what I mean, with my own coaches running the thing.
All right. We have this tweet I want to get to. Cal Hammer about baseball. You can tweet us again at KD Pump, at Paul Zeise. He says, do you think Hayes is ever going to hit 20 or more home runs like most third basemen? Moran has more power than Hayes. They're sending him in the hopes of finding some power in his bat. First of all, you're never going to know until you try, and this guy has, you know, everyone sings his praises. So at some point, you're going to have to go with a guy. You can't keep in the minors, right? At what point, he's a very good defensive third baseman, for sure.
That's the key. I mean, to me, okay, you might not get home runs from Hayes. You're not going to get a ton of home runs from Moran either. But Hayes is going to give you a much better glove, and that's the key there. You got a team that's going to try and win a lot of games 2-1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want run prevention.
We have another Tri-State tweet of the day, Tri-State Office Furniture. This was from Kevin Davis. He says, how, you guys, there's a team that lost 93 games last year, know 2 weeks into spring training how 24 of the 26 roster spots are accounted for. How does a 93-loss team have 10 guys on scholarship? I think that's a good tweet. Thank you very much, Kevin. But that's the problem. They don't have any other answers at this point.
I mean, again, you know, I would assume that Maley will be the backup catcher.
To Stallings. And to be honest, Jacob Stallings, as much as I like him, he's not a starting catcher.
No, but I'm saying those are your two catchers, right? You got Frazier, Bell,
Newman, Tucker, whatever.
Well, Newman and Moran. That's your infield. And then you're going to have guys, you know, hanging around. What was the guy they signed? Heredia will be your fourth outfielder.
And you got Dyson who had 200 or whatever.
Gerard Dyson will be your center.
And you don't know about Polanco. Do you hope Polanco's okay? He's a big part of this. But at this point, we don't know his health. They believe he's going to be hopefully 100%, and they need a bat like what he was 2 years ago. We got to take a break, come back with more. Get on the line. Let us know what you think at 412-575-2600. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW.